Hey, this is Silver Snipe 222, and I will be looking at the Crosman T4 BB pellet gun today. Now, just a couple of words before I begin. This pellet gun has given me no trouble. It's high quality, it's durable, reliable, works most of the time. It's excellent for hunting small birds, squirrels. As a pistol, of course, you won't use a pistol to hunt those if you use a pellet gun to hunt small animals or for pest control, but this works. This is better mostly as a plinking pistol for fun, and it's a CO2 powered pellet gun, of course, and there are a couple problems with it, but I'm going to show you how it works first. And now the operation is relatively simple. So here's what you do. You take the gun, you see the back strap here? What you're going to do is you're going to pull out on it. You see this little metal lever right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take that metal lever, push down on it, take out the CO2 cartridge magazine. Once you got the cartridge magazine, shot the cartridge in it. Now this is an empty CO2 cartridge for demonstration purposes. I'm going to put it in there. Make sure you got a sufficient amount of pressure on there, and it should take you a sufficient. It should take you some force to push down on this, and that would puncture the CO2. And then you would have these loading clips. See here, 8-round loading clips, which you would insert directly in here. Now, you can press on the slide release here, which will open it, or what you can do, here, just like push it down to close it, and or what you could do is push the slide back, pull it back, hold down the slide release and let go. That would open it nice and good for you. And load it up with either BBs or pellets. If I'm going to use BBs, I prefer using the Daisy Steel airgun shot. It's a little bit more accurate than the copper BBs, and they've got a little bit more stopping power behind them. And pellet wise, maybe just some Crosman flat nose wad cutters, or Daisy lead pointed, or even some high velocity PV pellets, if you know what I mean. If you're an airgun expert or enthusiast, you'd know. Now, as you can see, this gun is based off of the design of a Glock pistol, very obviously, if you know about that. And it obviously isn't once you get it close, but from a distance it actually is. So as I was saying, all you have to do is load in the clip. Now this is the clip. Take the pellet, slot it in from the gray part forward. The gray part from the back, you load them in forward from the gray part. Make sure they're all the way seated in there. Now, if you have them all loaded in there, you just put it back in there with the gray part facing backwards. Pull back on the slide, and then you take it off of safety, and it'd be ready to fire. But this is, and no CO2 in it. So there you go. It's a pretty simple operation. Now the problems I had with it. One of the problems I had was that whenever I puncture the CO2, as you know, this puncturing process, it would not come punctured. I don't know what the problem is. I think the problem might be that I'm putting the clip in and then puncturing the CO2. That might not be the problem. That wasn't always the problem. Another reason I found was that I might not have been using Pellet gun oil. You might know what that is if you know about air guns. And I thought that at first, and that might fix the problem. But besides that, if it's just a bad design or just this gun has a flaw, it's just let me know. Leave a comment. And I got this for about $80 at Academy Sports. It's a good deal, but the CO2 problem is kind of puts it. I think. I mean, I don't think it should be $80. Maybe $50 at most. And the CO2 life, that's also another problem. I can probably get about 50 shots before the CO2 canister runs out on me in this gun. About 50 shots at most with the pellets or the BBs. It doesn't matter. And the box says that you get about 450 feet per second with the BBs and 430 with the lead pellets. With the high velocity pellets, I get about 500. But the first few shots are definitely higher than 450 feet per second or 500 feet per second. And another issue is, and I mean another reason that the CO2 might be running out is that whenever I puncture it and I first fire it, the first round has such a huge amount of gas. There's so much gas. It's like firing a 9mm round out of an actual Glock. That's how much smoke is coming out. And I think it must be the seals are loosened or broken some way. So if anybody knows how to fix this, again, leave comments, please. And that's about it. Everything else about the gun is good. And I have of the other BB guns I have. Again, this has the lowest CO2 life. Thank you for watching my video, and leave comments if you can help me with this issue. And if you have the same gun, if you have any tips, any recommendations on how to care for this gun. Oh, one more thing. People that don't know this, you need to clean your pellet guns once in a while. And you can't use any petroleum-based solvents, supposedly. But what I sometimes do, and it still works fine, was that I put some Rem oil, you know, the Remington gun oil, and I'd spray some inside of the barrel and inside of the mechanisms. Now, that's not causing the CO2 problems, because I've had those problems before I started cleaning the guns. So, I don't know what the problem is.